What's good? We back at D Lifestyle. So I know this video has been highly anticipated. I was supposed to make this video last week, but I don't know what happened. I got so caught up with just work and certain things I was doing over the weekend, so I didn't really get a chance to make this video. So it's gonna be a recap of my first month as an account executive at my company I work for, Atmosphere TV. So I actually made several notes that I want to go through. This video is gonna help someone, I guess, someone that wants to enter the tech sales realm, shift into this career, and I'm really gonna lay out everything, like everything transparent, so you guys can understand what it takes to be successful in this role. I mean, I'm just in my first month, but I was able to get tips from a lot of other co-workers that have been there longer than I have, and the co-workers that are really excelling in the role. So I wanted to get all of their perspectives, and I'm also going to share with you guys as well. So my bad, I had sand in my eye. So the first things I'm gonna discuss is the level of difficulty. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Being an account executive at my company isn't like what they would really explain in a regular definition. So if you're going for a SDR or BDR role, right? Your job is to basically set meetings. Basically, you're calling prospects. You're trying to set a meeting for your account executive, so that eventually, once the prospect meets with the account executive, there should be some level of interest on the prospect's end, and then your job as an account executive is to really be the expert on your product, so you can explain the solution and how it can better help the prospect's business, so then you're able to close them. So that is what the role of an account executive and SDR is. But as an account executive at my company, they kind of merge those positions into one, and they call it an account executive. I hope I didn't confuse you guys, right? So my role as an account executive at my company is we have to go and talk to those prospects initially. So we're actually the ones making the cold calls to these business owners and pitching them the idea of our product and how it could be a solution in their business to really elevate the entertainment space in their business. That's what our company, we provide streaming services. The services is technically free for business owners as long as they stream 40 hours a month. I would say the difficulty in that is trying to get them to understand that it can be free for them, because people are skeptical once they hear free anything, because you may get a free trial, you may get charged or whatever. So it's our job to really explain the value that the streaming service can provide for their business, and the pricing of it is literally free as long as they stream 40 hours a month. Sounds like a sweet deal that anyone would want to get, right? But people can be skeptical for the fact that it's free and that you have to put your card on file, for this product to arrive anyway. So there's certain ways to go around it. They're basically called objections, and you have to rebuttal those objections so that you can then close the deal. And for our product, the sales cycle is very short. Like, you can actually have a conversation with a prospect on the phone and literally close a deal on that phone call. Like, it's really that fast. So I'm gonna get into my progress, right? So our first month, our quota, or MSP, right? But I'll just say quota because that's what most people are, used to hearing. Our quota for the first month was 5 deals, right? Me personally, I didn't close 5 deals. I closed 1 deal, and it didn't come until the last day of the month. But I'll be honest with you guys, like, I would say I didn't do the best. Like, I feel like I could have done better, but people learn faster than others. So you don't want to get caught up in comparing yourself to other people. If anything, you want to be able to go to those people that are doing better than you and try to get some advice. Like, what am I doing wrong? Where do I need to improve? And then eventually you'll start seeing the progress in how you talk to people on the phone and the deal rates that you start to close. So, my whole mindset going into the first month was, I want to be able to just learn the script, have it memorized in the back of my head so that whenever I have an objection over the phone, I can combat that very easy. And other people pick it up faster than others, so I'm not going to say like it was difficult, because other people may get into this role and it seems very easy, maybe from past experience that they have. So for me, when I started the first week, like, they had us just phone calling, like, basically cold calling leads that they previously, I guess, worked as a company, but like no one really touched them for like a couple years. So it's just a way of getting those reps in, talking to potential business owners. And some people actually got lucky and you closed deals from these past leads, right? So for me, I was just working on my tonality on the phone, trying to be more assertive, be more confident, because these were things that I was getting trained on. Like, when I would have a cold call breakdown with a manager or a trainer, like, they would tell me, like, you need to be more assertive, you need to ask for the business, you need to be confident, like, you know what you're talking about. So these were things that me personally as an individual, I had to work on to then be able to get that first deal. So at this point, like, it's like 2.5 weeks, people are closing deals left and right, and then me, I had no deals. And it could be a little bit discouraging. And I was a little bit stressed out, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, trying to close that first deal, I'm like, okay, if I can just close one, I know I can, replicate that again. So going into the first month, going towards the end of the last week, like, there's a lot of momentum that builds on that last week, because everyone's trying to hit their quota. Everyone's trying to close as many deals in this last week, before the pay period ends, right? So my objective was just let me close 1 deal. Like, I wanted to close 5 because, that's the quota. But I also am aware I'm in the ramping stage. So this is the stage where you can mess up. You may not hit your numbers. You have leeway because they know you're just learning. This is like your first month. So I didn't want it, I didn't want the fact that I didn't hit my number to discourage me. I wanted to just learn from it, like, what can I do better? So I had closed my first deal working from home, and like, the goosebumps that went through my body, like, was crazy. Like, closing my first deal on the first phone call, right? It was crazy, but we did it. So that came on the last day of February, right? So then going into March, like, I feel like I built a lot of momentum. I started calling 100 people a day, because I used to just go for like 60, 70, 80 was my peak. And then I'm like, yo, I need to start calling more people. So eventually I started cold calling over 100 people back to back to back. And then I started like feeling myself getting more confident over the phones, to the point that I'm like, I think I can do this. Like, I really feel like I can do this. So now that we're in March, we have like 3 weeks left of the month. I've already closed 3 deals. I feel like I'm not where I should be, but compared to last month, I've done a lot better. So, I give myself a little pat on the back for that, but I feel like, there's a lot more I could do. In terms of calling 100 people, like, I was getting 100 people every day And then once I started closing deals, it's like my productivity went down a little bit. And I gotta like being aware of that and trying to catch myself from falling backwards and keep on dialing 100 people a day will better my chances in steamrolling, the momentum and closing more deals than I've ever closed. So the week of last week, I closed 3. Coming into this week, I want to double that. I want to be able to double the amount of deals that I'm closing every week and get more efficient with my dial time. So, yeah, that's gonna like describe my progress compared to others. Like other people, they close 5 deals in 1 week. That may be you, but it just wasn't me. And, I'm okay with that. I had to be okay with, I may not get there quicker than others, but I'm going to put in the effort to at least hit my numbers and learn. So this month, I'm just more so focused on putting the amount of reps in, calling 100 people at least every day, every single day I'm in office, sourcing a lot more leads, calling a lot more people massively so that I can then get the experience that I need to be able to be more efficient and close a lot more deals than I'm used to closing. So that's really the game plan going into next week and for the rest of the month. And, I'll update you guys on everything as well. So we're going to go into the pay and the benefits, right? So the pay, you basically get paid on the 15th and the last day of the month. But depending on the company, you may get your commission on the 20th or some other time before the end of the month. So we technically get paid like 3 times. The first time is the 15th, which is like halfway throughout the month. And the second time should be your commission payout from the deals you closed last month. And then you get paid again on the last day of the month, usually on a business day, not on a weekend. So the pay has been great. Like I've really been able to save a lot of money and like not really have to worry about money. So I feel like it's been really beneficial and it keeps you motivated. Like when you're getting paid, like it makes you want to close a lot more deals so that your commission can be like really fat. So that's just what I'm going to say on the pay. The benefits, we got our health benefits. We got like a different pay, like different plans, dental, vision, medical, all of that. So you kind of customize it towards however you feel like you're going to be at the dentist or medical place more often. Like they'll have a recommended plan you should pick. Or if you see yourself as a very healthy person, you don't think you're going to go, visiting the doctor or medical stuff as often, they have a recommended plan for that. So just make sure you're choosing the right plan for you so that, as you go on in your career, you don't have to make too much drastic changes and everything makes sense for you. Okay. So next we're going to go into the work-life balance. I would say like, because I work a 9 to 5 now, I've been able to be free on my weekends. I used to work weekends. I feel like, okay, once I get off work, I feel relaxed, but like in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking about hitting my quota. Like I don't know if that's something that I shouldn't be doing, but like, I feel like it's something I've been realizing now. Like, okay, work doesn't completely end on that Friday going into the weekend. Like you still somewhat have to study your script. You want to study, sales tips and advice. You want to do some homework on your days off so that when you are coming into the office during the week, or if you work remote, you show up to your computer during the week or whatever, you have a better understanding of your role and what it takes to excel in your role. So I've been watching a lot of Jordan Belfort videos, the Wolf of Wall Street. I've also been watching Trent's video. They've both been helpful in terms of like knowing what to say, knowing how to carry yourself over the phone. Trent really stresses making those 100 dials every day. I'm still working on it. I haven't consistently been doing it. The most I've done was like maybe 100 dials back to back 2 days or 3 days, but like I've been consistently trying to overachieve the bare minimum that is required at work. So I've been doing better on that end, but I would love to hit $100 every single day. I feel like that's a challenge that if I can start doing it consistently, it'll become easier and I'll be able to close more deals without even thinking about it. So work-life balance have been good. I do feel like I get enough sleep. I want to be able to wake up more earlier, so I'm gonna have to sleep earlier. So that's just a domino effect that I feel like will improve my output as I'm well rested and more energetic when I go in the office. We're gonna go into the mindset, right? The mindset is one of the biggest keys to like progressing in this role, because like you may think you had a bad day. You come into the office, you dial 80 people or 100 people, you don't close any deals, you may not set any meetings. Don't consider it a bad day, because you showed up, you made those dials. You may have some bad days. You may have days where you don't even want to talk to anybody on the phone, but you got to push through it. You got to set a goal for yourself. Like you want to set at least 100 dials, or maybe you want to set at least 3 meetings, or you want to close a deal, or you want to set up a demo, for a potential close. You have to set many goals, that kind of connects to the bigger picture. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So for me, my daily goal, like I want to at least dial 100 people every day. That's a daily goal that, I'm still working on it as an individual. Like I've been dialing 80 to 90 people like daily. I want to get that up to 100 people, because I know then I'll be able to greater my chances of closing a deal, or maybe making that connection with a potential prospect that can then close. So it really depends on the company you work at and the sales cycle. Our sales cycle at my company is very short. You could pick up the phone, call someone, and in that same day close that person just in a 10-minute conversation. That's how short my sales cycle is. So that's why I feel like it makes sense calling a lot of people. And if you're able to call more people, you could have more conversations with more people, and that will better your chances of getting a deal. Or, the metrics for us is we want to at least close 2 deals a day. If you're closing 2 deals a day, you're easily hitting your quota, like easily. So that's really the expectation that we have as an account executive at my company. So the work that's required, I feel like the work, I kind of explained a lot of it. Like you have to be disciplined to make those phone calls, whether you're dialing your ass off or you're emailing your ass off, or doing a combination of both. You want to be doing a prospecting activity every day and put your life effort into it. I've had some days where I really don't want to make a single phone call, but I will at least like pick up the phone and dial people like repeatedly. And then I'll take a little break. I'll take breaks in between if I feel like, mentally I'm kind of drained. Take a walk, come back, make those phone calls again. You got to do whatever works for you to keep you motivated, to keep you energetic when you're dialing, because you don't want to be, saddened, or you don't want to feel depressed and you're dialing, because then you're gonna exude that energy on the phone, and whoever you're talking to is not gonna want to listen to what you're saying. You gotta have a presence over the phone where someone wants to hear what you gotta say, because people are busy. These are business owners you're talking to. So you got to make sure you're reiterating why you're on the phone with them and why they should be listening. You got to give them a reason to. And if you're sounding drowsy, you're sounding monotone, they aren't going to want to hear that stuff. That's just a little tip that I give and that I've gotten from other coworkers. Like the most successful coworkers at my job, they're all dialing 100 people daily. 100 people daily. Some of them even work on Saturdays. Like, they come into the office and they're dialing on Saturdays. I'm like, oh wow, you guys are working 6 days a week. But hey, they're closing over 50 deals a month. You know, our quota is 22, but like, if they're consistently hitting 50 deals a month, like, you're having a fat paycheck, a fat commission check. Isn't that worth the work that you're putting in? You know, the sales job is you're able to control your pay. So not only are you getting that base, you're able to maximize your commission check by the amount of output you're putting in, you know, you're putting out there, so you're able to see those numbers. So you got to know your numbers, and you got to be able to work on those numbers to really elevate yourself and give yourself more opportunities to close deals, because that's what it's really all about with sales. So the outlook for the future, right? So because I didn't hit my MSP last month, this month is we're required to hit 15. I already closed 3, so I technically have to close like 12 more deals, but I don't want to go for the bare minimum. I really had a goal in my mind to close 33 this month. We're gonna see if we get there, but I feel like as long as I can do the work required to hit those goals, then, you know, hitting 15 is gonna be like in my sleep. But I don't want to discourage anyone from pursuing tech sales because they're like worried about hitting quota. You got to lean on your trainers. You got to lean on those experienced salespeople in your company and ask them, like, what are they doing to consistently hit those numbers and exceed those numbers? What do you have to do as a new rep, you know, to establish yourself that you belong here? I had a coworker tell me, like, yeah, I can't really help you until you've at least dialed 1,000 people. And, you know, luckily, like, after dialing over 1,000 people, I was able to close my first deal, you know, and that first deal came when I intentionally dialed 120 people. I ended up dialing over 130 people that day, and that was the most dials I had on that particular day, and it was the last day of the month, and I closed that one deal, and I felt like so relieved, because you don't want to be that salesperson that's dialing, and you close nothing. You know, like, you want to close something. You could celebrate the small win. You know, you close a deal. Next month, you're going to close way more deals. That's the first of many. And then you got to listen to that phone call. Like, what went right on this phone call that I was able to close? How can I replicate this on the next call? How did those other calls where I could have closed, what went wrong? How should I approach that on the next call? Think of it like that. All of those calls are like practice, and for you to learn from, like, okay, how can I get better? What should I do? I gotta be more assertive. I gotta ask for the business at least 3 times. You know, if they're really short on time, can you schedule a meeting? Can you bring them to the website so they could visually see what you have to offer? Can you close the deal and just have them try it out for 30 days? Risk-free? Like, there's incentives for you to close the deal. You got to know every single one of them. You got to know all the common objections you get over the phone. You got to write them down, and you got to have a response for every one of them. Okay, sales, self-development. Entering into sales, you're forever working on yourself as a person, because not only do people have to trust you as a person, they have to understand your company, the product that you're trying to sell them on. You got to know it like the back of your hand, right? You got to be patient. You got to have patience, because you're working with a business owner. You know, they got to be able to understand what you're offering and really break it down for them, so it's like a no-brainer decision for them to want to do business with your company, right? So you got to have patience with yourself to actually learn the company's product, software, whatever they have to offer, all the ins and outs, so you are seen as the expert in your field. You want to come across as the expert to the person you're talking to. You have to have the patience to relay the information diligently so they understand, right? And you got to be confident enough to ask for the business. You'll never close a deal if you don't ask for the business. You got to be confident, like, hey, like, we have a really great product and I believe it will benefit your business. Just give us one shot and I'm certain you will be satisfied with what we have to offer. So what's the best address for me to send this to? What is the best address for me to ship this product to? Or what's the best email for me to send you more details so you understand the whole aspect of what we have to offer? Oh, if this is not the right time, well, when is the best time so we can discuss this further? Who else would need to hear this conversation so you guys can make this decision? You know, if it's just more than one business owner, like, you have to have certain phrases, certain questions to plug in there so that their mind is turning, you know, like they're thinking of, okay, because they're going to give you an objection. An objection is not necessarily no. It's just they don't understand. Or it's they need more time. Or it's you just didn't relay the value. Like, they don't see the value. So you got to make sure you're expressing the value and why they should even be listening to you in the first place. These are things I had to learn. And it's made me be able to communicate better to somebody, because, you know, these are business owners. They didn't just become a business owner just out of thin air. You know, it takes hard work, dedication, and effort. Like, so these are people that are experienced. They may be educated in whatever field they're in. You know, some of them will have degrees. You know, not all business owners have degrees, but some of them are very well educated. So you have to talk a certain way. You have to sound confident. You can't be scary on the phone. And I used to be scary on the phone. And, you know, the training I've gotten from my mentors, my managers, is like, they really want to help you be successful, you know, and they're going to do everything they can to help you. They're going to listen to your phone calls. They're going to break down everything. What is missing? What are you not doing that, you know, is translating to deals? And I feel like you really have to lean on those managers. You got to lean on the senior reps that have been there before you and be like a sponge. Soak up all the information and advice you can get from the most successful people in your company and really try to emulate that so that you can be successful too. Because success is like, it could be a 1, 2, 3 step process, but then you try to make it hard for yourself. You know, like, I'm not trying to make it hard for myself. Like, it's just, you got to dial the people. You got to pick up the phone and talk to people. You got to make sure you're expressing everything that makes sense to the business owner. You know, it's all self-development at the end of the day. So I feel like this role in a sense will prepare you to be able to own your own business. If you ever wanted to own your own business, it will prepare you to be more socially, like, there. Like, you could be more social, you could communicate better, and you could just be able to influence people. Like, that's really sales. You got to be able to influence people's decisions. That's why you should read that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a really good book. Fanatical Prospecting is another good book. And I just grabbed Jordan Belfort's book, The Way of the Wolf. But I'm also going to be grabbing his sales course as well. Check out his channel. It's called Sales School. You're going to get a lot of tips and gems from that channel. And Trent's channel as well, Trent Dressel. I believe that's his last name. But they're on YouTube. It's free content. Like, soak up all the sales tips and knowledge that you need to excel in this role, and I believe you, I guarantee you, you will excel. And also, you know, having faith to the man upstairs. God has been carrying me through all the down times. Like, when you doubt yourself and you feel like you can't do it, you gotta lean on God. Like, you gotta lean on God and have faith. Like, this, you're gonna crush this. Like, all the small obstacles in your way, you're gonna blow through them, you know. And you just gotta be real. Like, you gotta put in the effort. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror. Like, what am I not doing? Where can I improve? And you gotta do the work. You know, God isn't gonna come down here and pick up the phone for you. You have to make that decision in your mind that you're gonna do everything it takes to be successful, and just have faith that you're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep pushing, keep moving. Wish me luck, guys. I know this video was highly anticipated. This month we're gonna blow past this quota. We're gonna do everything needed to get there. We're gonna bounce back and be strong and learn from last month, you know. I hope this video was informational for you guys. Feel free to leave comments or, you know, questions. I'll answer all of them. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and hey, you know, if you want to try to get into tech sales, look into Course Careers. My code will be down below. You could take $50 off. And hey, just stay blessed, guys. Stay blessed. I'll come out with another video probably towards the end of this month. We'll compare everything. I'll give you guys the whole transparent. Like, I want to be very honest with you guys with this field and this journey that I'm going down. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay blessed. Peace.